Hello there everyone, welcome back to Starting Out Solitary. It is Inspiring Alien, your sub-host for Tuesday, and this week's topic is college and paganism, witchcraft. How do you put these together? How do you deal with them? And I haven't experienced at all of this, because I've only been to senior high school doing my A-levels, and then in a vocational school for art, so I did my visual artisan degree in that art school. I didn't live in a, like, whatever you call them, commune, or like a student apartment. I didn't live in any of those, and I think that's like the main thing here. And maybe also, how do you have time for these things? So I feel like when I was in the last half of our school, I had the most issues with this, because that was a very busy time and I did so many things. I had to finish up all kinds of assignments and get all these things finished and out of the way so that I could graduate and get into the final exhibition with my classmates. So honestly, I can't even remember all that much what I did back then, and I feel like my biggest activation was around Imbolc last year. That was kind of when I started to follow the Sabbaths and really get into this witchy lifestyle. And that was when I already finished the art school, and I went through quite a bit of stuff in between also, in between of ending the degree and then between Imbolc. That was like, yeah, it was surprising how much happened in that time frame, but I'm not gonna go into that as of yet. Now I can't remember. I think I found my first goddess when I was still in art school and I was just reading some cards. I think it was either at the summer or like early autumn, at the last half of art school, and it was a beautiful experience. I have a video about it, and that's something that I always had time for, like pulling tarot cards. And that's also kind of when my tarot practice, it was a little bit different, but then through the last year it went through this huge change. Like everything changed last year. It was so crazy. But that was all after that, because like I said, I couldn't spend that much doing those things, and taking care of all the school stuff really distracted me quite a bit. So I didn't have this stable practice or like a structure in it. I only had structure from school, like go to school Monday to Friday and be a certain time there, and then you have the weekends off, etc. Those type of structures. And also in regards to my mental illness, depression, anxiety, for the most part, sometimes insomnia. That time it was all under control, and I was pretty well recovered, but then again I had to take care of my stress levels and all this kind of stuff. So then I was so happy that I was actually able to manage all that. And to be honest, having a practice that I would have done like regularly, that wasn't necessarily my priority. But I think that was back, I think that's the time where I also started moonworking. So I read the book Moonology, and that kind of blew my mind, so I started to do all kinds of practices in regards to the moon phases and learning about it and trying to manifest these things. And then again, I did quite a bit of mistakes because my manifestations, they weren't maybe from the true me, and I only see it now. So, and then also the fact that I couldn't really work on them, I couldn't really do those things in time or with right focus and effort, because I had this all kinds of scatterness going on. So that's one of those things that you do have to take into consideration. So you have to make sure that you don't have too much on your plate, and try to keep all of this in line. So for example, if you want good grades, which a lot of us do, a lot of us do want good grades, you could use your witchcraft or paganism in regards to learning and in regards to having that ambition and passion and exploration, expression, all this power within to grow your abilities to learn and succeed in the way that you see the best. Work, for example, with the 4 elements. You could use them also to help your learning. For example, if you learn writing or anything that is information based, you could use the power of air, and that way you could go for sort of seeing all this information, being able to absorb it. And by using the power of earth, you could ground it down and make these into practical actions, or sort of tie it into something that you can actually physically do. Fire would give you energy to go through this studying, learning process and doing these actions, whatever you're gonna do. And water would help you with the flow of these. So it would help you to tune into your instincts and see when you have to try something else. And also figuring out creative ways to work through it. And also see the emotional aspects, because in a lot of things it's not as black and white pure logic. Sometimes there is also something emotional and spiritual behind these things. So you can always find out through these different elements and look at your studying and learning processes through the different elements. And that's just one little example. And then of course you can use crystals to help you. You can, for example, a few things that really did help me in art school were putting crystals under my pillow, especially the ones that calm it down. Sometimes I even put some calm and creative crystals. For example, I used chrysoprase. I can show you one. But this is the stone in question. It is really beautiful, minty crystal. And this one, the first time I put it under my pillow, I slept well, but those dreams were so wild. That was freaking crazy. So if you do want to see vibrant dreams and solve issues within your sleep and do that type of dream work and see what kind of symbolism you get from your sleep, and if you're actually able to process your information and all these things that you're learning in school, you can use this crystal for that. Another good one would be sodalite, maybe even clear quartz, to really process these things. And also using the combination of sodalite and smoky quartz, that would be another very good example of clearing out different things. And because the smoky quartz also kind of has that dark side to it, and dark crystals are types that absorb all the negativity, so that would then like balance, calm, and clear out your biggest issues. So if you have like some issues in your studying and learning processes, you can definitely use the dark crystals and those type of tools to work through them. Color magic, even like cleansing with different things, like cleansing is a good thing, and all kinds of stress relief methods. There are so many things you can actually do to really get that magic going, and they don't really have to be these huge things. And that's also one thing that you should keep in mind. You really don't have to do these big rituals and spells if you don't have time for them. You can do just one little thing, one thing of 5 minutes every day throughout your study. That's just one little thought. And also meditating, that is so important. For example, for myself it was a big deal studying, and it really helped, and it kept me in balance. And yoga was also awesome, it was really good. And keeping up the movement. So I think that's kind of my 2 cents on college and paganism, even though I haven't officially gone to college, but I have gone through some studies, and I do intend to go on uni. I will go abroad probably, so next year you can probably see me getting into that process. And although I'm gonna do art, it's still gonna be a lot of studying, because it is university, and those are always quite huge in the study sector. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have questions, make sure you leave them below, and especially if you want to learn more or something, then you can leave me your ideas and requests, and then also remember to visit my personal channel so that you can see whether or not I've already made a video like that. So that's really all. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and also Inspiring Alien, and I will see you all in the next sub-week. Yes, I'll see you all the next sub-week. Stay awesome. Bye.